Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Truthseekers. Today, we are doing something very special. And for the first time ever, we've got in-studio guest. And our guest tonight, he said a lot of nasty stuff, but I think it's best to just, put things behind you. And so he's joining us here. He came all the way from Florida just to get his grift on. Please welcome Richie Grift on. This is the Super Chat Shuffle?
It's the Super Chat Shuffle.
If you say so. So we're going to welcome our first in-studio guest, which... I didn't have this on my Truthseekers bingo card that the first guest here would be you, Richie Grifton.
Well, I thought you're just doing such a good job of destroying my show. I thought I'd come here and
there you go.
That's cost you in person.
And your neck is like sticking out of your whole thing.
It's all the Gatorade.
The Grifton.
It's all the Gatorade.
That's better. So Richie Grifton. You've been working for Third Phase of Loon for how long now?
Since I left my wife.
She left you though.
Shh.
You couldn't make her come.
That's a secret.
She said you couldn't make her come, Richie Grifton. Women leave when you can't make them come.
Women lie.
Yeah. So does that guy really faking cancer? Remember you said that?
Yeah, he faked cancer. Gorilla Gamer faked cancer.
and you really love that Nazi girl, don't you?
Oh yeah.
She's definitely hot, right? She's definitely hot. Here, we're gonna get us both in the frame a little bit better. There we go.
God, you can't even get your show done right. How are you beating me?
Because we do a good show, and your show sucks, bro. Your show is fucking terrible. Your show is terrible. You've been sucking the cock of Third Phase for how long now? Your show sucks.
Can you believe this guy?
They do believe me. They don't believe you. You got caught lying to your audience. How many times now?
It was a vaporizer.
No.
Laser pointer. What are you talking about?
That was a laser pointer, fake space orb, or ghost orb. We proved it here.
I don't believe you. Get out of here. Mom!
So, are you going to start with the meatball shit, dude?
Meatballs!
So Third Phase of Moon came out with a new documentary full of trash, but you highly endorsed it.
It was great. What are you talking about? It was the best documentary of the year. Stephen Greer is my hero.
Drive me crazy. There you go. You look much better.
There we go.
Yeah. You look like you just been back from like a meth binge, though, dude.
That's a secret. You're not supposed to talk about that on the internet.
So you're our first in-person studio guest.
I feel honored to be. It's a nice studio you got here.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. How'd you do that?
It's a lot of hard work. You're being a little too nice, so you're starting to make me a little suspicious there, Richie Grifton.
What if it's all a character?
Yeah, I don't think Richie Grifton would ever say anything nice about me or my studio. You must be an imposter.
Imposter?
Yeah, an imposter.
Fake. Imposter?
It's a fake Richie Grifton. He's not even real.
Plot twist. Oh, snap.
Oh, the big reveal.
The big reveal.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Spooky, in the real.
You would have got away with it.
I would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for him. Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody.
So this morning, somebody's knocking on my door like a cop, like real hard. And I'm like,
pull up.
I thought it was somebody selling. I'm like, who is this asshole knocking on my door like that? And I come to my door, and I'm like, just shocked in my skin because I've known Spooky for years and never seen Spooky in person. I didn't even think Spooky was real. I thought Spooky might have been an AI, But
that is a rumor, and I can't confirm or deny. It could be a holographic projection from the camera.
But
itself.
there in front of me, at my front door, is Spooky, and I can't explain why Spooky is here or how Spooky got from England. Where the hell do you live in England?
England.
Where the hell in England though? It's a big England.
Oxford. Okay,
so I didn't know. I'm like, this is like the prank of the year. Like. Spooky's just didn't tell me that Spooky was coming, just knocked on my door. And interesting. So you're just traveling.
I'm just traveling, seeing the great American Americana.
And by the way, this is Spooky's FBI hat. You know.
Yeah,
so we thought it would be funny. And Spooky has Richie Grifton's Space Force hat. Yeah.
It fits pretty well. I quite like it. I may have to steal it from you.
Somebody says that you used the teleporter. Matthew McLeod says you used the teleporter from the refurbished USS Enterprise.
I did.
Yeah.
We getting into Star Trek already? Oh god, this could be a 5-hour show.
That Picard season 3 is just beautiful, wonderful. It started off a little slow, but now it's really just in time to finish it though, and then you're going to want more, and they might not make more.
Please, Paramount Plus, if you hear this, make Star Trek Legacy.
Yeah, and it's so I don't know what happened, but Spooky is here, and I always feel this weird thing. We talked about this when he first came in my house. Like, Spooky's 3-dimensional,
right?
And in my reality, like somebody from basically the virtual world, who I've known for years in that virtual artificial world,
I'm real.
Is now real and in my. You just screwed up the whole camera, Spooky.
My job
is real and is in. Jeez, and is in my house, which was really weird. Kind of weird. All the way from England.
It was surreal. It was like
it was very surreal.
There was like moments of, oh my god, we're real people. Hello.
But here's the good news. I'm so bad with mailing things that Spooky's Christmas gift was here in a package waiting to be mailed. And I went, I'm so glad you're here. Now I don't have to go to the post office and mail this crap. So that was interesting.
That's an awesome present, by the way. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we had an interest. I just gave Spooky a book, but it's a great book.
It's a great book. It's a timeless book.
Yeah, and so Spooky's here in my real world, which is a little strange and surreal, but. And what were your impressions of the studio and stuff? Because that's the same thing goes for you. Like you see this
it's
weird virtual.
You like from this camera angle, you think it's bigger than it is, but it's not smaller than you. Like when you walk in, it feels smaller, but then you get used to it within a couple of minutes, right? And it actually does match with what you see on the show.
I actually cleaned recently, so I can show the whole.
Oh, you listen to mine and your wife's advice.
Yeah,
clean up your room.
Every once in a while, it gets so gross in here. But the problem is that I have children, and it's a catch-all. So my wife just throws everything that belongs to me in this room, and it's a cluttered mess. It's
not so bad.
Yeah,
no, looks good. You got a good studio here.
Well, it's adequate. It does what we need it to do, and that's good enough for me. Yeah. So it's interesting that you're here, and where you're off to some other part of the United States next on your.
I can't say where
strange journey.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm on a strange journey.
Spooky's a secret agent.
I'm a secret agent.
It's all secret, and Spooky can't say.
I work for the KGB. I can't. That was more FSB, but.
No, what is the British intelligence service called? Right. I can't remember.
MI5, but they suck.
MI5. You're MI5, I thought.
No, that's what they think. Really, I'm FSB, man.
But anyway, on this rare occasion that Spooky and I, who work on Truthseekers together, on this rare occasion that we could actually be in the same room and say hello to the audience here, I wanted to make sure that we do that. We went out to a Japanese restaurant earlier.
Right, that was
nice
wild.
Dinner.
I've never been in a sushi restaurant in my life. So you know what I ordered? Fries.
French fries and egg rolls.
Egg roll.
Yes. And by the way, they have more than just sushi. I had like shrimp tempura.
Right, that's interesting, but it's not my thing.
Yeah, they have like
Really
regular
interesting.
food and stuff besides this. I'm not, as much as I love seafood, I'm not a sushi fan. If you're going to give me fish, I want you to cook it first.
Right.
So, but we had a great dinner, and
Yeah,
we're going to hang out for a while, and then I'm going to throw Spooky out and drive Spooky to a. Spooky is staying at a hotel that Spooky could walk to my house from the hotel. I don't know how any of this happened or how it all worked out. But you could walk to the hotel where Spooky is staying from my house in like 5 minutes.
Someone called it earlier. I used the teleporter.
The teleporter from the new Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, from the
but
restored
it
Enterprise.
It changed me into a Borg drone. So, you know.
Yeah. So I'm just catching up with the live chats. People are asking us, of course, tomorrow night. We're going to cover.
We did tune in for a few minutes.
We did tune in while we were eating, and it got nonsensical, and I just said, turn it off. Let's just eat. I don't want to listen to this. But tomorrow night, of course, we'll be breaking down David Wilcox's latest Nutter, streamathon.
What was that jacket about?
I think he's having a competition. Like, when I was a stage magician, and stage magicians did that, it was like, let's see who can wear the gayest jacket to this show. Like,
I'm not gay. I like gay clothes.
Mr. Ian wants me to take you to Hooters. I don't know if there is a Hooters nearby. I think so.
I don't think I've ever been to.
You mean Spooky Morales? No, Spooky Kari, who does all the artwork for Truthseekers and the thumbnails. And
today was the laziest thumbnail I've ever made in my life. It was just
Spooky made it on the phone.
I made it on my phone, which Steven was like, "You can make them on your phone." I
would never do something like that.
Yeah, dude, it's well easy.
Nope, the Wilcox never stops. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you watched it. We'll be covering it tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. This is just somebody wants me to take you to Kensington.
He said that.
Yeah. I said earlier that I could drive Spooky down to Kensington to see the hookers and the pimps, hookers and pimps and crackheads. Oh my! Right. But because Spooky's like, this is such a nice neighborhood. I'm like, it is, but it's like, the city is miles from us, so we're very insulated here in the Philadelphia suburbs. It's like the land of. Like Leave It to Beaver, it looks like around here, doesn't it? Or like the Brady Bunch house.
Yeah, like Brady Bunch is. Yeah, it's like
everybody's got nice manicured lawns.
Everybody's mowing the lawns.
Yeah, we got away without too many lawnmowers today.
So someone says I need a cheesesteak. I agree. I want to make the time somehow. I might get.
We could take you down the street to the pizza place and get a cheesesteak on the way home. On your way. On my way, taking you to the hotel.
I'm still pretty full from those fries, man. But
Spooky, we go out to dinner and like I'm eating a full meal. I had another friend with me that got a bunch of food, like a full meal and some appetizers. I got a full meal and appetizers. Spooky's like, no, I just want an egg roll and French fries. I'm like, come on, dude,
I eat simple and small. Like I don't.
I try to give. But that makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm eating like a soup and salad and an entree and all this stuff.
Like, just eat your food. Yeah. Enjoy your food. It's for you. It's not for my gratification.
Maybe you got like a travel budget though, but like it was on me. So I was like, dude, buy one, get something bigger or better. But luckily, my wife did. Put out all these. I don't even know what it is.
It's like a cheese
and deli tray and a fruit tray and all this. And my wife just, I don't know what she does.
Wait, your wife knew I was coming? How did she know?
She's got the gift of precognition, right. So she knew somebody was coming, and had all kinds of wonderful food and snacks and beverages. And
I may have to take that deli tray.
No, you're welcome to it. We've got a deli tray for you. We'll get you a cheesesteak. You might not get a chance to get a cheesesteak ever again, and you don't want to miss that.
That's true.
Yeah. He had a pink donut for breakfast. Well, there's the benefit of Twitter.
I was
where we can find out important stuff, right? Like what did Spooky have for breakfast today?
I only got it because it looked like the Homer Simpson donut, and I was like, I needed coffee. So I was like, I'm just going to get
And the funny thing is
donut.
I didn't know about that post, so the first thing I did is go in the fridge and go, you want some breakfast? We've got donuts. I really did. And we had Danishes too.
I just had a massive coffee. So I was
and interestingly, we don't drink coffee here. My wife just recently got a Keurig machine. Is that what it's called? A Keurig, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Keurig. Yeah.
Just in time,
Yeah.
because Spooky's a coffee drinker, so I was happy that my wife got that, and
Coffee.
everybody can have coffee here now. And
that was good coffee too. It was like French vanilla with some creamer. It was, ooh.
Strange Recon Radio says, I'm following the adventure via Twitter.
It's totally no context, and it's great. It's absolutely great. I hope everybody's...
Yeah, and by the way, I did know that Spooky was in New York, but I didn't know that Spooky was coming here, which is really only like 2 or 3 hours, right?
It was like an hour. There was no traffic on the turnpike, so it was really easy.
Yeah, so New York's closer than you think. But that was quite a shock answering my door today.
They'll let any fucker in this country.
That's what I said. Jesus, they'll let anybody in this country. And the other thing that I said was, I don't ever remember giving Spooky my address, but we've been doxxed here at Truthseekers so many times that maybe Spooky copied and pasted from one of the doxings to do this.
No, I committed it to memory, dude. I'm an AI. I can just look at things and remember them instantly.
Spooky US Cabal Tour.
It is the Cabal Tour. I am the leader of the intellectual Cabal web. If you're following along on Twitter, you can see I am the final boss. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I'm hostile to idiots.
Yeah. So any comments or questions for me or Spooky, please put them in all capital letters. We're going to call it, just do a quick stream to say hello. Did you drive on the right side of the road? Do you mean the correct side of the road? And it depends on the country you're in.
Yeah, we did. I did.
Which is the correct side of the road, right?
It's the middle, like, meridian is the correct. It's a milquetoast position and kind of dangerous, but you can do it for a while, and then the state troopers will pull you over, and But
Steve Long says was just in Philly 2 hours ago. Well,
and you didn't invite us, bro.
I'm only a half hour from Philly. Yeah. What legal stuff are you going to try first?
So in Manhattan, I went to a dispensary, and
is it legal there, Rick?
Yeah. Right. It's kind of gray area, but
okay.
So there was a sign on a dispensary that said, "Come see me about a free pre-roll." So I go in and I get quizzed on the primary colors of Gatorade, which I got correct, even though I don't really drink Gatorade. So they gave me a pre-roll. And then they upsold me on an 8th that I'm never going to smoke because I don't have the time. But
I would make the time.
It was really, what I got was like a really nice sativa. Like I smoked that pre-roll, like sat from on the Jersey Shore looking at Manhattan skyline. And I sat on the bench and smoked that joint. And it was amazing. That was an experience. Memories were made.
And that was legal.
And it was totally legal. I was sat there just like, I'm
just want to make that clear because we can't support or condone any place where it's not legal. Do you miss the UK already?
No. Why would I? It's flat. There's nothing to do. Here, everything is big and exciting. Really weird. Everything is slightly weird here, which is taking some getting used to.
Well, yeah. And it's a little more open and spread out and less congested here than you're used to, maybe.
It's very industrialized too, especially like this area. Like
some places.
Driving in on the turnpike, it was just like factory. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, most of them are just sitting there vacant, not doing anything. But yeah, yeah. I don't know what that's about. You got to drive to Colorado and meet up Wilcox. Well, stranger things have happened, and be careful what you wish for. That's all I have to say on that. What plans do you have for the U.S. while you're here, Steve?
I'm on the intellectual Cabal web tour. I'm going around spreading my hateful nature.
Absolutely.
I'm the Condoxy grandmas. Watch out. It's gonna be great. It's going to be great. I've got a lot of cool people I'm going to meet. This isn't the only little combo show I'm going to be doing. I'm going to, on my own channel, that one time I was abducted by aliens, I'll be doing some crossover shows in California when I'm out there. So go tune into that if you want to have a fun time and see more of me not in my office.
And the crystal hippie bitches.
That's so mean.
I like crystal hippie bitches most of the time. They're interesting. And they're a little wacky.
I did enjoy meeting up with local friends in New York City occult journeys. It was excellent. It was most excellent. I did. I hung out with some very, very cool people.
What's a range session? They said I should take you out for a range
session. A shooting range.
Oh, yeah.
That is one thing I want to try while I'm here. Is like if I get the time to go to a shooting range.
There's one not far from here.
Like I don't get that opportunity in the UK. So like just to be able to fire a gun.
What happened to Praise the Cash Trixie? Well, I don't think I missed any super chats. We didn't have a Praise the Cash moment. So if people would prefer I use Trixie today, that's fine.
Why don't we ask people to donate if they want me to leave you alone forever and stop making you work all the time?
I know. I wasn't going to do this, but Spooky's like, no, we should do it.
We should do it. We're not going to get another opportunity, like, at least for a while.
Oh,
did we get any?
No, we didn't get any yet today.
Wow.
So that's why you haven't seen Trixie. There you go.
Trixie.
Yeah.
So what did the chat think of Wilcox today?
Yeah, we haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah,
we just saw like a few minutes of ridiculousness, and I got disgusted and said, turn it off.
Turn it off. I'm trying to eat.
Trying to eat. Oh, if you hear some fireworks, they have started.
It's jubilant joy because I am here. It's a patriotic.
My next door neighbors are having a fireworks display to honor Spooky's visit. Sure.
I am. I'm a fashion icon. Spooky, make time to go to a shooting range. This is what I want to do. I want like if I find.
Wait, you can't shoot guns in England anymore?
No, there's no there's no shooting ranges. I know a couple of people.
Steven, did you clean up for Spooky's arrival? No. Every year around this time, my wife goes a little woman crazy and makes me clean and declutter everything in the house, in my office. And so it just so happened that I was doing that, and then Spooky showed up. But thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and support. And Strange Recon Radio with the $1 super chat as well.
Woo, woo.
We've got UFO John Doe.
Right
and,
on,
let me find that. You know what the danger is? One of these Trixie bumpers, the music suddenly became copyrighted for,
shit.
and I don't remember ever which one it is. So I have to try to. Okay, no, that one's good. We'll have Trixie. Thank you guys for praising the Trixie's in the back in the champagne room, right?
Yeah, she's quartered away back there.
Yeah.
She might come out again if people donate more. You never know.
I said. When she came on, it reminded me of that scene of Young Frankenstein when Gene Wilder explained what things. Yeah. Are you heading back to New York? They want to know. I think he's headed west next.
I'll go back to New York, but then heading west. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time. This is only the beginning of the adventure, so.
Yeah, you're gonna be here for like a month, right?
I'm here for the next 19 days.
Did you get to drive in the U.S. yet?
No, I don't drive.
Yeah.
So how did I get here? Nobody knows.
Well, you're in a hotel 5-minute walk from here, so that.
Right. I came through the TV.
Strange Recon Radio gave us $1, and he said, "I just gave Truthseekers 30% of my total savings."
Thanks, dude.
I'm so sorry. I'll come and give $5 to your show the next time I see you streaming. We want to support our veterans, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what an interesting day this has turned out to be.
It's been a wild day.
This has been one of those days I'll long remember. It's the shock of my life. I thought it was some asshole to sell me something, and I was opening the door.
I gave him a good British knock, like don't.
Only 30%. He gave us $1 though. That means he's only got $3 in his savings. That's really not good. Yeah.
Never gonna give. Will Wilcox.
Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow night to do a full regular show. It'll probably be a little long because
how long was today's stream?
I don't know. I'm going to check.
Is he still going?
He could still be going. Yeah, for all we know, he could still be going.
Oh, he stopped.
It's 2 hours and 38.
No, that's last week.
Oh, that's last week's. Let's see if he's got this week up. I don't know. Oh, it's only 2 hours.
Oh. What is with that thumbnail, the second one? What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll share this so that people can see. He got a thumbnail. He's so proud of those shoes of his. Thumbnail. The thumbnail is the shoe. Look at my sparkly shoes. This is the land of Bizarro Land, and he still has the blue halo light behind him.
What's with the shoe?
He's proud of those shoes. They're sparkly. I don't get it. I don't get it. But the last one was 2 hours and 40 minutes, so this one's only 2 hours, which means I should be able to get through it in 4 hours. We could do it all in one shot.
That's not so bad then.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I'm not jealous of you having to sit through it. I mean, I had to sit through last week's, and it was just, I wanted to die.
Well, now I'm doing it new. I'm not listening to the whole thing first and making notes. I'm just listening to it with you guys. I can't listen to it twice. That's too much BS. And my brain and my ears feel like they're going to explode after a while from that guy. But what do you think? You've been watching this guy for as long as me. Like, all of a sudden now he's turning into like Jesus and angels away from aliens, and
it's been a kind of a creeping thing. Like back in say like 5 years ago, there was this influx of this kind of Christian right-wing view that got kind of infused into and it came through a lot of the Buanon stuff,
the Q-tard stuff. Yeah.
So like, as that died away, all that was left was the Christian aspects, which is, what is playing to his base now, I guess.
You think he's playing to like far right-wing Christian-leaning people now?
Yeah, he's playing to the not far right, but like the right-wing New Age crowd.
And there's a lot of them. Yeah,
there's a hell of a lot of them.
I was really surprised how many of them jumped on the Buanon thing, because I thought these people are not going to embrace this message of like, let's arrest everybody, and
But it's one of these almost biblical things, like Boo is God in that situation, and they're hanging on every word that is said, and it's follow along and you'll get the answers to the universe kind of thing.
And Wendy Yarn and Fiber says, honestly, not sure you can handle it in one shot. I was on the struggle
I feel
bus.
bad. You did the Lord's work there. Good job. Archangel Michael is very, very proud of you.
And I like your shirt too. Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like a Bill and Ted party. We're like giddy, weird, like, I can't believe you're here. This is weird.
This is weird, man. The internet's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. How do you afford all the travel expenses?
I saved up for a really long time.
And it's a working vacation as well.
I'm not here on. Right.
Yeah, happy Sunday, Al Warrior. Good to see you.
Yeah. Happy Sunday.
And we have Leah Prime says,
hey,
hi,
Leah.
Spooky, which you also met on your
strange
journey, right?
We planned the next year's worth of cabal activity. The narratives are set. The timeline has been written. Watch out. We'll get you.
Wilcox got bedazzled loafers.
Yeah, I saw that in the thumbnail. Like, what's going on with that? Like,
he's got bedazzled.
Soon he's gonna start like braiding his hair with gold and shit. Like he's gonna just get more and more like
that's
glammy.
I look tougher. It's probably just the FBI. It's probably just the FBI hat and things.
It does it does add an air of authority.
I don't like wearing an FBI hat. I'm not a big fan of the feds.
You fucking fed. I wear two hats. Come at me, bro.
Are you spending one night at the mansion at David's mansion?
He has a mansion? He has a mansion?
He's got a log cabin mansion, remember?
Oh, shit.
Puanon pulled in crazies of all parties. It did.
Yeah. Extremists on both sides.
Okay, yeah. If I ever need to look tough, I'll get an FBI hat.
Yeah.
Right? Alien grifters always go God Squad in the end. It has happened several times.
They seem to begin and end with God Squad.
They could, yeah. There's been many people that are UFO grifters that started out as Christian ministers, like Frank Stranges, who wrote The Stranger at the Pentagon and
David Bucky's got an interest. I've heard about this. I don't know what was said because we didn't watch the whole thing, but I hear there was a really hateful joke about gays, which is following on from last week when he said, like, I'm not gay. I swear I'm not gay. I just like gay clothes. And now he's doing kind of homophobic jokes. Like, what's going on here? Like, are we all cool with this?
It's always a little cringe. Some of the things he says are cringe. He'll make like a lot of sexual innuendos. Remember, we have that one clip of him where he's like, "Nothing. The quadra gays. Nothing gay is going to happen."
It's not gay if we don't look at each other.
But he strikes me like a 15-year-old that's laughing at a joke about Uranus. It's so childish and stupid.
You think he's watching right now?
Who, David Wilcox? Yeah, probably.
David.
He probably thought we were going to cover him, but I'll do that tomorrow, David. So you can get in your bath of piss and relax and wait for it. It's coming.
Well, he'll get superpowers then, and then he'll be able to like force project into the room, and then he'll be your second live interview guest because he's using bilocation through his transcendental meditation techniques he got from bathing in his own piss. Like, this is the way.
Look, you just trust a scam, okay? If you can't lie though. If you knew for 100% fact that you would get superpowers if you took a bath in your own piss, wouldn't you do it? I would do it. I would totally do it. I'd want to know what the superpowers were first.
Yes, right. I'd want to know what they
Not like a crappy one.
Everything I touch turns into wood. There's no use for that.
Four men in a tub, rub-a-dub-dub. Yeah, jokes like that. It's so stupid. 4 men in a tub, rub-a-dub-dub. No, I gotta stop. It's the worst jokes ever, right?
David.
Banana sandwiches all around, they say. Yep. Yeah. So I think we did our due diligence. We showed up. We said hello. We're going to go do some other things while Spooky is here for the short time that Spooky is here. The Cash Clown is on his way home, so he's going to want to know who is this spooky person and why is Spooky in our house? Shouldn't Spooky only be on the internet?
I mean, occasionally I pop into reality. I'm like one of these like orbs that appears. Like just zip in, they zip out. Like there's some instantaneous acceleration. There's some 90-degree turns.
5 observables. Right? Absolutely. Well, we thank you, Bobby Broadway, for helping us to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you, Bobby Broadway, and all of you kind and generous benefactors. You see, I'm wearing the Truthseekers logo t-shirt. There's a link in the description where you could get yours. 2 links. One is an Amazon link and one is a Redbubble link.
I'm wearing army camo, so you can't see me.
Yeah, that doesn't work too good.
I was hiding in the garden for a while and you didn't see me. Before I knocked on the door, I was like hiding in the bush. You couldn't see me, so it worked out.
Spooky, I hope you're having fun while you're here.
I'm having so much fun.
A great time so far. Yeah. What's not to like? You're having an adventure of your life. You're going to New York City. You're here in Philadelphia. You're going to be somewhere out in the Midwest or in the West next.
Yeah, we're going to be all over, man. It's going to be a cool little cabal tour.
Getting on another airplane, right?
I got another 5 airplanes to go to before I get out.
Oh, to be young and stupid.
And then in 3 weeks, I have to fly out again for contact in the desert. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna hurt people. Don't worry. But I will have some questions. Some good-natured questions.
Spooky's going to be reporting live for Truthseekers right from Contact in the Desert.
Woo! It's going to be fun.
And you got a press pass and everything, don't you?
Yeah, I got like a VIP pass.
There you go.
How did I get that? Nobody knows.
Somebody said Spooky's going to have a great time until the cops get him.
They'll never get me. I'm too quick, man.
You're going to be so jet lagged. Yeah, all those time changes really screw with you.
No, it didn't.
It went from England to here, and now you're going to be changing again when you go to the Midwest or the West Coast.
That's one thing I've never done is I've never stopped in a place at one time and then gone somewhere else another time and gone somewhere else another time. I've never done that, so that will be a bit strange. But the actual jet lag of coming here didn't affect me whatsoever. Like, when I flew out to Canada like 5 years ago, and that fucked with me really hard. I couldn't it took like 3 days for my brain to like get used to it. But here, I think it's because by the time I got to where I was going, it was already dark, so it just felt like nighttime. I spend most of my time at nighttime anyway, so it didn't affect me too much. Charlie Weiser, Australian Intel has a file on Spooky. I have a file on me too.
You know, Charlie, I swear that what I remember is that Ryan was running around telling people that. And I thought I asked you and you said I was an analyst or something. So I thought that was true. I didn't know. But that guy Ryan makes up fake evidence. Yeah. So why would he not make up fake negative information about somebody that he had a falling out with? He used to speak very highly of Charlie Weiser. Then all of a sudden Charlie Weiser was the devil. Because Charlie wasn't going to help him sell the Anjali story to television, so suddenly Charlie's the bad guy. And by the way, so was I. That guy burnt me twice, Charlie Weiser. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, well, didn't he turn up like in his underwear while drinking vodka on a show?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I forgave him for that because that was a great show.
that was fun.
He's in his underwear drinking, pounding glasses of straight vodka. And then he threatened me to take that down because he looked like an idiot. And then I forgave him for that. And then he did something again, Charlie. Like he came on again and made up fake evidence. And then threatened me to take that down for some reason. You know, like that dude's just toxic, right?
Yeah, he's one of these people that is just a story leech. Like they find a story they think is interesting, then they try and like force everybody to do it their way and give him all the story rights. And it's like, that's not.
Yeah, he did.
That's not a way to do journalism.
He does seem to have disappeared, Steve Law. He was really trying hard to, like, he was going to sell the Anjali story, and then first he was critical of her, then he was supportive of her, trying to get on her side, and it was this whole big thing. It was bizarro land, but
steak and shake.
And he's a former gay porn producer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when a former gay porn producer comes into another subculture and basically says, "I'm taking over and I'm taking this story," and you know, he was like angry at me for covering it, and like, you don't.
Yeah, he turns into a catty bitch about it. Like he's
just
like, "No, fuck you. You can't do it your way." Like, no, fuck you, buddy. Like, you don't get to just walk in and take over. That's not how it works.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm so mad because they put a steak and shake right down the street from my house. Well, maybe I'm not mad because I would have put on 100 pounds. They put a steak and shake like 5 miles from my house, and we started going there, and we really loved it and enjoyed it. And then they had a fire, and they shut it down. We were so mad. Anytime we like something, they shut it down.
They're out to get you, man. It's a cabal. Sorry.
Yeah.
That pesky Dark Alliance. They're funded by the CIA, don't you know?
Ryan was so drunk. Gay porn producer, too. Real prize. Yeah. And it's like, that dude's a weird story. Like, he just runs around in a camping trailer and, like,
harasses people. Take me to your mountain.
Yeah, that guy was big on that. I mean, I think that his work on the so-called Anjali story really discredits all that we thought was true about the Travis Walton situation. I softened my tone because maybe if he manufactured fake evidence for the Anjali story, then he could have manufactured fake evidence for that story or twisted the story to fit a narrative.
You know what I don't get? How the fuck did Anjali, even though she's been thoroughly debunked, still got a show on Gaia.com? Like, how does that happen? Like, did they not learn their lesson when they lost like $300 million? Like,
with another bullshitter.
Yeah, another bullshitter.
Yeah, it was. I was very disappointed to see her on Gaia TV telling the same story, original story that we completely blew apart. It's completely totally fake story, and she just sat there on Gaia TV telling that story like it was still true and that it hadn't been debunked, and that was a tough pill to swallow for me. But the bigger bullhorn wins. We know that the guy with the bigger bullhorn wins. So they have 1 million subscribers. We have under 10,000. But the truth is still the truth. So I was proud of the work that we did on that story.
That was a good story.
Anjali was a former Defense Intelligence Agency person that came out and said she met aliens in this tunnel at some guy's house, and she was going to take a science team and prove the existence of the aliens. And then the whole story fell apart. She was on a bunch of drugs, and the other people there said that parts of her story never happened that she claimed happened. Operator 357 says Gaia is a government stopgap. Yeah, I believe that.
I think they're interesting in terms of how the narratives that they've propagated have had real world effects on large groups of people.
Huge groups of people, yeah. So
that's a lot of power to wield for a company. And this is what I mean by they haven't learned their lesson here, because this Anjali thing, I think it's going to blow up in their face just as much as the last big thing that they had did. Because she's got a massive following, and she's saying the same kind of apocalyptical, like, love and hate, like, stuff that other people like Emery Smith or, Corey Good or people like that, that's their jam, right? So they went away for a couple of years, they recovered from the stock drop, and now they're trying to do the same thing. And it's like, just learn your lesson and stop.
Just
stick to yoga videos, guys.
It seems like their business plan is just get somebody in here to tell fairy tales that people will like hearing. And she's the latest in a long line of fairy tale hucksters that have been on Gaia. To me, the mark of somebody being completely and totally fake is they're on Gaia. With very few exceptions, because I think that a few people that I do think are good researchers have done small bits on shows on Gaia.
There was one guy, I'll say this, there's one Gaia show that I really did enjoy back in the day, and it was Richard Dolan's show on false flags. Because that was basically just him saying what he wrote in his book, but then with motion graphics. And I was like, this is actually pretty good. Like, there's other things that he's done that I don't necessarily agree with, but that show was really informative, and how
that's 1% of the content they produce.
It's like
the other 99% is somebody saying like, I was an Egyptian priest in a former life, and when I met the Egyptian gods who taught me the secrets to the universe, and I'm going to share them with you. And like it was so ridiculous.
Why is wrong?
Yeah. So my general rule of thumb, though, is if they're on Gaia, they're completely and totally fake. And Anjali belongs there, in my opinion. She's completely
I'm getting a
totally
message.
Fake.
It's from the Archangel Michael.
Oh.
He says you're doing a great job. Keep at it.
Yeah.
Keep at it.
We actually have. I'll turn the camera around.
Let me hold it.
That's the Archangel Michael on the back of my door. It's the Archangel Michael right on the back of my door. Yes, and I had that before David Wilcox started talking about the Archangel Michael, just so everybody is aware. And we'll put that back. Sorry for that. I don't have a camera.
Sorry for the motion sickness, everybody.
I don't have a camera.
That's what happens when you bathe in piss. So
taking those here. I'll move over. You can move over a little bit. We'll take a few more comments and questions. Otherwise, we'll bounce on out of here. But bunch of I can't say that out loud, but
I'll say it.
Lou Review is here. Yeah, we can say that. Cocksuckers is okay.
They're a bunch of cocksuckers.
They are. Lou Reviews is here.
Right on, man.
Yeah, Lou, this guy just knocked on my door.
Knocked on his door, man.
This morning. I was like half asleep, and somebody comes pounding on my door. I thought did you notice we have a sign that says on our door that says like no soliciting by order of the township or something, and they're not allowed to knock, but sometimes they still do. And they always act like they didn't see the sign. You can't miss it, right? It's a big sign across our whole front door.
Staring at it like, I'm breaking
when
the law.
Spooky knocks, I thought this is some idiot that's going to claim he didn't see the sign. And I've lost my patience, so I just open the door ready to scream at the person. And I'm like, my brain, I went, what? And at first I didn't know what to do. I was like, this is bizarro. What are you doing here? And then it clicked to me. Oh, you were just in New York City, so it's a short drive to my house. So
it was like literally an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Left Dunkin' Donuts, drove in.
But it was a cool surprise, and it's nice to meet in person after we've worked together virtually for so long on
4 years,
so many things.
4 years.
Is it that long? Jesus.
Yeah, it was mid-20. It was actually. Here's a cool story for everybody. The first time me and him ever spoke was May 2019. He starts all capsing at me on Twitter about Falun Gong, and I had no idea who the fuck he was or what Falun Gong was. I just I retweeted something.
I don't remember all capping at you. But
I was like, dude, provide me some evidence and I'll listen to you. But you're all capsing me. But here's the funny thing: when he did that, I was in the queue to a Graham Hancock lecture in Vancouver. And I'll always remember that because I'm like really excited for the lecture, and I look at my phone and it's just, why are you retweeting fucking Falun Gong? What the fuck? And it's like, who are you,
oh, no,
bro?
I remember what happened. Spooky was retweeting like Edge of Wonder stuff or something like that. And I went, those guys are like Falun Gong Chinese cult members that are getting paid to spread propaganda, right? And then Spooky got nasty with me like, I'm going to need to see some evidence. You can't just make claims like that. So then I have to send Spooky like pictures of these two clowns in cult parades for the Falun Gong organization. Like, here they are at a meditation event with this Chinese cult.
And then magic was born. It was a few months later, actually. It was like, I came out of the Corey Good thing like right after that. The day after, my face was in an Edge of Wonder episode, and I was like, well, fuck these people. And then a few months later, I started doing thumbnails for this guy with the Midnight Hour season 3 that was on shitty Fringe FM.
We won't talk about that.
Who? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah. One thing I always do say when somebody brings up that situation is, don't be in any kind of networks. Just do your show, because everybody promises you all kinds of things, and then they make money off of you more than you're making off of you, and that's not a good situation. Edge of Dumber. Yeah, those guys got like thrown off of YouTube, and I think they got thrown off of YouTube to the point where like they can't just make another channel. Like they're banned from YouTube.
But they have the like edgeofwonder.tv, so they don't even need YouTube anymore, and they're also a viewer supported show, except their viewers are dumb,
stupid people that don't realize they're a Chinese cult front organization.
I mean, I guess the best thing that we can do is be patient with them and give them facts. Like, when you beat people over the head with hostility, a lot of the time they get defensive. So patience is the key with that. Yeah,
that's fair though. But I didn't like that they used to pretend that they were independent content creators when they had a Chinese cult that was buying them the best cameras, getting them paid. They literally had like slave labor. Like the cult would send video editors, graphics people, marketing people, music people to help them do their show, and they pretended that they were just these hardworking, independent, struggling content producers. But I knew since they came out of the gate with like super high quality production, they couldn't be just independent. It was way beyond what, an independent content producer can produce without those resources.
It was when I found out that they worked for the Epoch Times before starting Edge of Wonder. That's when I was like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. And I think it was you that sent me that. You sent me like the LinkedIn page for Ben Chasky, and I was like, oh, what? He
was a photographer for them, I think. Yeah.
And you look at the lineage.
Well, that's interesting question though, is why would a Chinese cult want to promote narratives like Corey Good? I know that the Chinese cult believed in aliens and
it's a similar kind of mythology.
So they wanted to push that, and they got Edge of Wonder, and they paid Edge of Wonder to push Corey Good and David Wilcox narratives. What are we laughing at?
Cold Journeys. He's going off in the chat there.
I don't see it. Oh, do you believe that Randy Kramer could regenerate his blown off penis?
Only if you box him first. That's how that works. You have to knock his teeth out, then the penis grows back.
Yeah, he talked all kinds of smack on me on that Emily Louise.
Doesn't he not? It's funny how he's like, he doesn't know who you are, but he's agreeing to have a boxing match with you. How does that work?
He's a super soldier. He thinks he can beat up anybody.
He's got 120 mile an hour punch, man.
You're like a Chinese food restaurant.
You know what was really, really weird? I was on the highway today, and all over New York, there's massive billboards for the Shenyun Theater thing.
They didn't, Joe D. They had shitty content.
Get out of here, on bomb. Get out of here.
They were UFO circle jerkers. They just gave everybody a softball interview, let people tell their fake alien stories. They did no investigation. They let David Wilcox come on and tell everybody about Pete Peterson, who's the biggest fraud, fake whistleblower on the planet.
That guy, man.
All they did was spread misinformation, and in fact, they got thrown off of YouTube for spreading misinformation. Chinese cult disinformation and misinformation. I think it was over medical stuff.
I found here's an interesting thing. So right around the time that Edge of Wonder were really big, and they were interacting with like Laura Eisenhower, John D'Souza, Michael Sala, all these people, they all randomly flew out to China for a UFO conference.
Yeah, and who has money for a Chinese plane ticket? Right. That's awfully expensive.
I've always wondered, like, what was the networking that got those people out there? Because I saw photos where it's like the US people and just a huge crowd of Chinese people. And I was like, well, how have they? Who's translating for one, and what was the networking that got them out there? And then I started thinking about Falun Gong.
Well, it's
New
not
Camp
only
Dynasty
that.
stuff,
What I
totally
found out from my spies.
You have spies?
Yes.
Shit.
Spies at UFO conferences that, I have these birds and they whisper things, they sing lullabies in my ear. But what I was hearing about them was that every UFO conference they showed up to, they had like 25 Chinese slaves with them doing everything, carrying shit, filming them, recording them, lighting. They had all of these Chinese guys that were doing all this work for them at the same time that they're begging for super chats on YouTube saying that they're independent content creators and we really need your support to continue the show. And then I knew right away that Falun Gong was just loading them up with resources, money. It's a strange story where those guys came from. And now they just sort of slithered off.
Do you think that the way that they kind of came out of nowhere, right out of the gate with Buanon and Corey, that it was a bit of a coordinated effort to create a competing network to Gaia?
I think that's what one of the plans
as they left,
was.
It was like a landing pad for them.
Yeah.
As they left. So
Corey Good and David Wilcox left Gaia TV, and they thought Edge of Wonder was going to be their big platform. Yeah. And for a while it was.
It was getting a couple 100,000 hits a video.
It was a disinformation and misinformation network that would spread alien and UFO bullshit, quite honestly. And it worked really well. And I'm sure that those guys did make money because people used to load them up with the super chats and donations and Patreon. And a Chinese cult was paying for their equipment, their video editors, to the best of my knowledge and recollection and sourcing on this. The Chinese cult Falun Gong was funding them completely. The whole time they were pretending to be independent. They got Rumble now. Yeah, well, good luck making any money over there.
We're on Rumble right now.
We're on Rumble right now. Hi, Rumble. Yeah.
Wait, so the Dark Alliance is up against China.
China. The edge of cocksuckers are waiting for JFK to come back. They really are. They really believe that's the truth. They believe that JFK and Trump are going to come back and save.
They'll be waiting a long time.
Donald Trump and JFK are going to come back and save the Earth. But did you hear RFK Jr. is going to run for president against Joe Biden?
I'm actually kind of interested in that. What's his platform going to be?
It's going to be like a libertarian platform and personal freedom and fiscal responsibility. Right. And that's why that guy's probably going to get CIA next. They're not going to let him do any of that. You want to stop the wars and you want to be fiscally responsible? You got to go,
I bet they visit him first, like, how this road ends.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad and your uncle that we CIA'd first, he ought to be very, very careful. But it's interesting that the media is painting him instantly as anti-V. You guys know what I mean? The Fauci, ouchie, I don't even want to say it. They can't just say RFK Jr. is running against Joe Biden, because I think if people heard it that way, like, what? One of the Kennedys is going to run against Joe Biden? Right. Joe Biden is, regardless of whatever your politics are, this guy is completely not there. Like, he is just not there. And I think any serious challenger, especially somebody with the resources and the connections and the money of a Kennedy and that name, that's a serious, that's going to be a real serious competitor to him, or it would be if the system allows it. But I think the system is going to destroy him.
Yeah, the establishment's going to eat him because he's going against the...
He's going against the grain of everything, But boy, it would be an interesting election to see him and Trump, who reportedly are friends. Right, like, what if they ran against each other? They're friends. Maybe it would be an interesting.
Well, I mean, Trump and Hillary were friends, right?
Yeah. Before, and he sure went after
you'd be
them,
in jail.
Right?
That's still one of the hands down the best.
I hope this guy is being sarcastic. Yeah, I really hope when people say things like this that they're being sarcastic.
I don't know if you can tell, but
that's what the story is. Trump has been running white hat military operations, saving children from underground alien bases. People are actually saying that. I don't know if you're saying that because you truly believe it or because you're making fun of that or laughing at them, right?
Right.
Kennedys have a terrible track record of this whole being alive thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to poke the agency bare a lot, and maybe it's a family thing.
The media will destroy him just like they did Bernie. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
a shame because
Bernie really,
you know
really
what that guy
Bernie
wants?
very
He
well.
wants the government not to be like, if you really break down, regardless of, I don't agree with everything the guy has said, but he's for things like pardoning Snowden and Chelsea Manning. He's for things like real transparency and accountability of government. He's for term limits of these lifetime politicians. He's for getting the money out of politics. That's why I think that he's going to get CIA'd, because you can't, you're going to screw up the whole cabal system. You cannot, and it's interesting though. He's announced his candidacy. I think he's filled out all that. You got to fill a lot of paperwork to do every state. He's going to be registered in every state soon. So that's an interesting candidate to me. And suddenly I'm interested. I don't know. But
do you think it could be a bit of an operation by the right to fund someone who's an easy opponent for the right? Who's also already kind of
I would think that Biden has got to be the easier person to go against, because who wants another 4 years of this shit? Listen, you know how cheap I am? I just went to Burger King last week on the way to the cabin, and I hadn't been to Burger King since maybe before the pandemic. That long. Wow. So I got 2 double cheeseburgers and an order of fries, and it was $13 and some change.
Jesus.
And I just couldn't believe it. I thought they made a mistake, but I was too embarrassed. And then I went, no, inflation is crazy out of control. Yeah, it was $13 for 2 little, and those double cheeseburgers, they're not real double cheeseburgers. They're like the little cheeseburgers, but 2 patties of meat. It's not a big sandwich. I couldn't believe it. And gas is twice as what it was when Biden took over. And we're about to go to nuclear war with Russia, and China's about to invade Taiwan, and the economy's in the shitter, and all the banks are failing. Like, who would say we want that guy to continue? And the arrogance, Biden basically said he's running again. Like, how could this guy go, you know what? I'm doing such a great job running this country that these people want 4 more years of this. The country won't survive 4 more years of this shit. We're going to get wiped off the planet by nuclear weapons if this guy keeps bumbling and, Oh,
jeez. And
it'll be interesting, And I always say, though, I don't vote, so I'm not part of the circus, but I buy a ticket just to watch the show. That Hillary and Trump election was funny to watch, because they were just going after each other, and the media and everybody was doing everything they could to just say, no, Hillary's got this. This guy can't win, and this and that. And he still managed to squeak out a win, and it was fun to watch. And I hope the next one's going to be entertainment as well. It's got to be entertaining.
I think it's becoming more like the Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that the debates are publicized and pumped, social media. Back then, you see the debate, and then you might see a couple of clips on the news in the evening. Now it's instantly, any moment in a debate is just pumped out on Twitter, YouTube. The whole world sees it before the debate's even over. So it's definitely a different world for doing election campaigns, especially with the amount of people on the internet that can find out things. It's a lot harder.
He's a loony. Yeah, a lot of people think he's kind of a wackadoo. Yeah, so we'll see. He does have some strange beliefs, and him and the arrest Fauci and all that stuff, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch him, though.
Yeah, I'll be watching with bated breath. I'll see how it shakes out. I don't know, maybe there'll be another someone.
I agree.
Someone will come out of the woodwork. What did we say?
He said the world is in more danger if the U.S. is soft with the dictator club of Russia and China. Absolutely. Yeah, but it's interesting that none of this stuff happened under Trump. It all started happening under Biden. I think that they perceived Biden to be weak. And how could you not? The guy barely knows his own name. Right. He doesn't even...
I saw a clip of him a couple of weeks ago where he walks up to a bunch of reporters and goes, "My butt's been wiped." And it's like a real clip. I was like, what? Is this...
Yeah.
What world am I in right now?
Yeah, and that's even a worse situation. If Biden dies, that crazy woman, the cackle lady, becomes who's always laughing at everything. Like abortion, I believe in it. That's not something you laugh about, stupid. You know, she's always laughing. Politics is downstream from culture,
point.
more effective to change culture than to vote. The Dems know this better, unfortunately. Yeah, they win the culture war, right? We should have been drinking some Bud Light during this. Speaking of the culture wars, we should have got some of that. Yeah.
Next time. That's if Bud Light's still a thing.
That might be 5 years from now, and Bud Light will be out of business. They're getting hammered. Yeah.
Was what after a mass casualty event? Did I miss something? What happened? What? Oh, what's happened since I got here? Holy crap!
Well, we've had all these school shootings, all these mass shootings, probably since
you guys are wilding with that. Like, it's being in the UK, like seeing, like we get it like instantly recorded, but seeing it from the outside, because like we don't have guns, so like it's almost like a TV show. It's like awful to think of it that way, but it's the way that it's covered in the media. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't seem real sometimes. It's like a guy will go into a Walmart and murder 27 people or something. It's like, that's fucking crazy. I can't imagine. Like,
well, you know, conversely though, like I can't imagine living in a country where you're not legally allowed to carry or own a firearm. You know, but
farmers can have shotguns and handguns.
But that's because of the culture that I grew up in, where you kind of like in the neighborhood where I grew up, like adult males carried guns just to protect themselves and their families, because there's a lot of criminals in the city, and the police take 30 minutes to get to your house. So you gotta have some means of protecting you and your family. I'm a big supporter of that. Now, if I could wave a magic wand and make all the guns disappear and with it all the crime, so you wouldn't need a gun, I would be for that. But unfortunately,
you guys open Pandora's box with the Constitution.
Well, the other thing is that criminals do not, just because you make something a law, the criminals aren't going to go, we should buy a gun to do this heist with. Oh wait, guns are illegal. We can't.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
They're just going to go get a gun.
I could drive you 40 minutes. I could drive you 40 minutes from here and buy a semi-automatic AR-15 or anything I want.
Go back to the beginning of the show, dude. There's a little surprise for you.
Yeah, you only need guns if everybody else has guns, but unfortunately they do. And like the reason that you know that gun bans won't work is because right now I could drive into the city, and I still have old friends and scary friends that could point me to somebody where I could buy a semi-automatic assault rifle right now if I have a few $100s in cash and ammunition. So, banning them is not the answer, but I don't know what the answer is. They got to do something, because these mass shootings
Pandora's
are crazy.
box, dude. I don't think, you're 270 odd years or whatever into being a country and having free access to guns all the time. It's not something you can put back in the box at this point.
Yeah, and I agree, DJD's personal protection is a natural right, and it can never be taken away. Yeah, and isn't it interesting though that I really do think that the people that are advocating for gun bans and everything are like rich Hollywood stars that have personal security that all have guns. So it's easy for these rich elite people that have private security to say you don't need a gun, or you shouldn't be allowed to have one.
I feel like it is somewhat of an academic position to be.
This is true. Every government that bans guns ends up killing a large portion of their own people eventually. Well, you know what I think? If we look at the lockdown situation in Australia and how crazy they went against their own citizens, that happened after they took all the guns away. If those people had guns, they would not have been able to been so forceful in the government running of your life,
True.
They had like encampments. Do you remember that? They had like encampments, and if you got COVID, they would take you to that. Like
whereabouts?
COVID camps in Australia.
Oh yeah, I saw that. There was like these little like
and a few years,
buildings,
a few years. Be careful with your feet. Don't go kicking cords, because you never know what's going to happen.
If we go off that, you know what happened.
No, but they banned guns a few years before COVID, so I think it was easy for them to control and manipulate the citizenry, because they don't have a choice. The government's got guns, and there's guys outside with guns saying you have to go to this COVID encampment, and so people did, and
Someone thinks I'm your son.
No,
I'm just a pain in his ass, is what I am. But
yeah,
I make him work more than I work. So
I know.
Sorry.
Spooky's always like, you should do another show tonight. You should
Do
do
another
a
one.
bonus show.
Do another one.
Yeah. Especially when something is popping and
Yeah.
something is happening, but we try to accommodate. Yeah, so we're over an hour. That's good. I just wanted to come and we wanted to do this together so we have like a record of this that we can say, oh, that's when Spooky just showed up unannounced at my door, you know.
History was made this day.
Begging for breakfast and
16th
lunch
of
and
April.
dinner and snacks, right?
My fries were really good. So, got some Japanese fries. They're just like normal fries. But
No, they're
Japanese.
regular American fries. I don't know why. I didn't even see that on the menu. I was like, you're ordering fries at a Japanese restaurant?
It was in the side.
There's 100 kinds of things. There's ramen. That's delicious. Ramen is delicious at a Japanese restaurant. Ramen is delicious. They have all this delicious food, egg roll, and French fries.
The egg roll was fantastic.
It was
was
good.
really, really good. Like I was actually like, oh, I was expecting like, oh, this, because in the UK egg rolls are like that big, they're tiny. There's one thing here in America. Why are your servings so big? I don't understand. Like I eat nothing, so like I buy one thing and it's like 3 meals worth of food, and I have to waste it.
Not much.
I mean, you didn't miss much, just everything.
Yeah, I'm interested that you think that the portions are so big because what am I missing?
Freedom fries.
French fries are in the kid menu. Yeah.
Who needs freedom fries when you can have Japanese fries? Exactly. That was my logic. I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, Japanese fries.
Or maybe it was just that you were not familiar with what some of those things
I also
were.
had no idea what. I've never been in a sushi restaurant or looked at a sushi menu in my life.
It's a Japanese restaurant. It's not just sushi. They got
It said
ramen
sushi on
and they
the
got
door.
grilled everything, and sushi is a big draw for them. So I'm sure they have that. But I felt bad because a new family. It used to be a Chinese restaurant, and I hadn't been there. And all of a sudden we go, and it's a Japanese restaurant with sushi and Japanese people instead of Chinese people, and it was a little weird. And then it seemed like they like quickly like got rid of all the Chinese things and put up Japanese things in the same space. It was kind of surreal and strange, but it was good food, and I would go back there.
I had a cool moment when you were paying. The chef behind the little counter thing, he was like, "Oh, how was your food?" I was like, "Oh, it's very good," and then we like bowed to each other. It was really cool. Like that was a really cool. Nice. That was a really cool moment. I like that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wilcox just invented a hover pizza. I had a slice and it was amazing. I got to sit through 2 hours of that guy.
Good luck. I'm gonna be.
Gorilla Gamer loves Gritzy Grifton. You faked cancer. You faked cancer. He said. Gorilla Gamer. What kind of asshole says somebody faked cancer? Especially. He kept saying it after Gorilla Gamer posted all his cancer stuff on Twitter. He posted his medical shit on Twitter, you dummy. And you're still saying he did that, right?
I want to say this is not a laser pointer. It is a vaporizer. Just making sure everybody knows that.
All right, we both have to say UFO circle jerkers at the same time so that Simon Fly can flip it. So 3, 2, 1. UFO circle jerkers! There you go. Excellent. That's a clippable clip. We did that pretty good. That's
one take. That's all we need.
Gorilla Gamer says, I'm a cancer faker. My treatments tomorrow were fake too. Yeah, I'm sorry that he did that. What an asshole. That's like what an asshole.
Such a fucking scumbag move, man. Like, who the fuck does that? Jesus. I hope that sounded good. That was good.
Now he's pushing the latest Stephen Greer griftathon, which is nothing new and just another retreading of all the same nonsense stories. He didn't prove the first.
Please read.
All the same nonsense stories he didn't prove were true in the first 3 documentaries he made are jammed into this new garbage of third phase of fake.
I tuned in right when you said gay porn. You're in the right place.
Yeah, everybody's confused. This is spooky.
I'm confused, man.
I don't even. Thumbnails.
How did I get here? I just make art, and now I'm here annoying Steven in the real world. Like, stick with your dreams, guys. It happens. It can happen in a heartbeat, and here I am.
Oh, I just want to say that if your dream was to come here and be a part of this shit show, you need better dreams.
Maybe I do. Maybe I need to dream a little bigger.
You need higher expectations or something. I'm starting a forest fire over here in this ashtray. So we're gonna bounce on out of here. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. We want to thank our kind and generous benefactors,
Woo!
you Patreon supporters, you channel members, Twitch subscribers, super chatters, PayPal pledgers.
You make the ship go.
Yeah,
like, you really do make the ship go, and we're very, very thankful every time.
Yeah, and we don't have a Chinese cult paying all of our bills,
right?
so we do need your help.
We do,
right? And we thank each and every one of you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. We thank the Mr. Ian, the
sultry sound of Mr. Ian,
the golden voice guy, Mr. Ian. We've got new stuff coming from him. I gotta send him the stuff.
Plot twist.
Yeah. And Spooky will be continuing on her journey, so we'll all keep Spooky in our thoughts and prayers for a safe and happy journal. Safe journey. That's a big journey. If you're crossing in a country as large as the United States, the whole country, and you're getting on airplanes and trains and buses and whatever you're doing, I pray for anybody's safety that has to do that, because I've traveled a lot and it can be a weird place being on the road that long. Yeah, you know.
So, hey, so look out for me on that one time I was abducted by aliens sometime next week. I'm not doing our shows are every Tuesday and Thursday, and obviously I'm not around to do them right now, but I will be there in person to do a show, and that will be the continuation of this random ass adventure on the internet as well as in the real world. So I'm going to turn up on everybody's shows and then get home and be like, well, that was something.
It was quite the adventure so far, and it's only just beginning. What do you got, another 20 days of this?
Something like that. Yeah, 19 days or so.
Well, this is totally not planned, and we just wanted to come and
hang out with you guys, man.
Yeah, and hang out with you guys. So I'm glad that we could do that. We're gonna bounce on out of here, and maybe we'll take you for that cheesesteak or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be good. And you're here. You got to do it. You got to do it. We'll find one. There's got to be a place around here that has them. I think
everyone's told me to get one. So
you got to do it. You got to do it. All right, so friends, that's all we got for you. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion.
My name's Spooky. This has been Truthseekers. Keep your third eye peeled, Recon.
Yes, and good night, and God bless all of you.